Revenge of the Savage Planet seems to be a worthy successor to the original 2020 explore-a-thon, packing in plenty of heart and humour within a wacky sci-fi universe. You have to admire any game that makes humour its USP, specifically the satirical kind, because as well as luscious environments, quirky gadgets, and satisfying exploration, it's this penchant for poking fun at far future capitalism that gave 2020's Journey to the Savage Planet a slight edge over other space explore-a-thons seen before. It's nice to know developer Raccoon Logic seemingly hasn't lost a step with this second silly outing. In fact, adventuring through zany locales is now even more expressive thanks to the switch from first to third person. My demo started me off right at the very beginning, with an in-universe onboarding video catching me up on what's happened to the fourth best space colonization company, Kindred Aerospace, since my last expedition for them to ARY-26 in the first game. Turns out Kindred has been bought out by an even larger conglomerate called ALTA, or ALTA, which might sound impressive but still results in the same lack of care for its employees and my ill-fated astronaut unceremoniously crashing down onto another unknown planet, with little else but my inherent curiosity to help keep me alive. As far as setups go, Revenge of the Savage Planet keeps things refreshingly simple to begin with and will feel instantly familiar to those who played the 2020 original. From here, it wasn't long before I was kicking up rocks and the local wildlife in search of essential resources such as carbon and aluminium, resources that in turn let me develop exploration tools like a trusty pistol and the all-important jump pack. The best thing I can say about doing this all over again in third person is that it all felt extremely natural, and I can only imagine how hilarious it'll be to bumble about, knee slide and sprint Tom Cruise style around all the new 5 savage planets have to offer in co-op. Being able to see your character this time around quickly makes the act of exploration more expressive and funny. Raccoon Logic has clearly had a lot of fun designing the animations of your faceless explorer, which can be further customized with all kinds of interchangeable outfits and costumes back at your habitat hub that are perfectly in line with the franchise's humour. My favourite in the demo was the Hunter line of gear, with the Stetson style truly letting me live out my space cowboy fantasies. The habitat itself is also far more customizable here now too, with 2 whole floors to populate with zany goods purchased using discovered currency. It's immediately obvious that Raccoon Logic has taken a if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach with Revenge of the Savage Planet, choosing to further polish and step up the creativity with what worked before as opposed to rewriting the rulebook entirely. Acts like grappling to high points using the proton whip and shooting out different goo types, each with a unique effect, swiftly becomes second nature, as is the regular act of scanning your surrounds in the hopes of filling out the Kindrix encyclopedia. Just how varied and inventive challenges on the new planets will be still remains to be seen, but for now, the act of getting around and constantly improving your toolkit feels rewarding. Now, if there's one drawback I experienced with my short time exploring the initial planet of Stellaris Prime, it's that both in terms of aesthetic and colour palette, it looks extremely similar to ARY-26 from before, a jungle-driven biome primarily populated by trees, rivers, and appropriately weird planets and fauna. I have to imagine this is a purposeful tactic on the developer's part to slowly get you back into the swing of navigating your surroundings before taking a full swerve into the unexpected. That said, despite some uncannily familiar scenery, exploring Stellaris Prime was engaging for the brief time I was able to, and one particular highlight, feeding a giant tree of gooey worms so as to open a gate made of roots. Pretty cool. To ensure I didn't get overly familiar with Revenge's entire opening stretch, it was around this point in my demo where I was jumped to the sequel's second planet, getting there in appropriately madcap manner by shooting myself from my habitat's giant cannon. Zephyr riffed on a desert theme compared to Stellaris Prime's jungle sites, which I could already tell would influence how I moved around compared to before. I wasn't allowed to venture too far off the guided path in this section, but it did well to show me the different types of gadgets and puzzles each new planet could play host to. In the case of Zephyr, I was guided into a darkened cave to once again try and progress through a gate. Shooting it didn't work. Spraying out red goo to burn away the barrier, no luck. Getting past it instead required me to use my noggin, ultimately uncovering the need to coat the tendril sprawling out of the gate in a new electrified goo type located nearby. As far as first puzzles on a new planet go, it was simple enough, but perfectly tied into the sequel's combination of exploration, naturalistic scenery, and wit. The only question I have now is whether or not Raccoon Logic will be able to imbue 5 planets worth of environments with the same depth and attention to detail seen in Journey to the Savage Planet's ARY26, but let's hope so. Revenge of the Savage Planet feels like it's set to release at a time where there's a severe lack of co-op games, comedy games, and goofy looking colour games, but it's refreshing to see the sequel comfortably tick all 3 of these boxes. Now, there's not too much new going on here to win over those who didn't gel with the first outing. However, my demo left me eager to see what other ways I might be able to express myself both comedically and creatively with a friend online or in split screen when it launches in May 2025. Are you looking forward to getting your hands on this? Let us know in the comments below, and why not drop a like and get subscribed if you want to hear about the latest game reviews, previews, and more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.